This video was made in collaboration with NARUTOPEDIA. For more information, check out the link in the description. The Life of Metal Lee from Naruto. Metal Lee is a genin of Konohagakure's Lee clan and a member of Team 5. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Metal Lee. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Background. As Metal's parents continued to stay close to their own childhood friends, Metal ultimately got to know the kids of his parents' respective friends very well. On the day of the 7th Hokage's inauguration, he watched the ceremony beside his father along with Tenten and Might Guy. Academy Entrance Arc. In the anime, on the day of the Academy entrance ceremony, Boruto Uzumaki, without warning, crashed a train into the Hokage Rock, canceling the ceremony. 2 weeks later, after Boruto's suspension ended and he finally joined the class, he quickly got into a confrontation with the class's top student, Iwabi Ueno. As the two students began arguing about what it means to be a shinobi, they decided to skip class to settle things in a fight. Metal joined the rest of the class to watch the fight in a training arena. Ultimately, Boruto and Inojin Yamanaka's respective words resonated with Iwabi, ending the fight. Later, as class started learning Shuriken Jutsu, Metal's social anxiety started up during practice. Once getting caught up in Boruto Uzumaki's reckless fun, Metal joined some classmates in doing repair work for the 7th Hokage's stone face as punishment. In Metal's eagerness to impress others, he accidentally caused more damage to the structure. Afterwards, Shikadai Nara made note of his problem, telling Metal to get over it. Deeply troubled by Shikadai's words, Metal walked away solemnly. The following day, a shadowy mist engulfed Metal. Increasing Metal's hostility, he quickly attacked Shikadai on sight, demanding he fight back. With the combined help of Boruto and Inojin, they were able to subdue Metal. As the possessed Metal began to break free, he stumbled over and accidentally knocked himself out, and caused the shadowy mist to leave him. Once awakening, Metal was given an apology from Shikadai for his earlier statements. Metal, oblivious to everything that had happened, quickly accepted Shikadai's apology. Once gaining praise for his performance while not getting nervous, Metal insisted that it was because he practices so hard, encouraging his friends to do the same. Later, Metal grows closer to his friends, playing video games with them. During a class introducing students to summoning techniques, Boruto got into another argument with Sarada, which spurred a similar argument between all the girls and boys. Ultimately, Shino decided to have the boys and girls settle things with a race challenge for a flag. The challenge quickly got heated, with Metal ultimately getting captured by the girls once his anxiety got in the way again. In the end, the girls won the contest, but despite their victory, the girls made peace with the boys. Later, the class gained a new transfer student from Otogakure named Mitsuki. Wanting the students to warm up to Mitsuki, Shino organized a welcoming party for him. When Shino's efforts for the party backfired with his insects, the class began to freak out, with Denki Kaminarimon begging somebody to make the insects go away, which Mitsuki did with his wind release Breakthrough, causing even more damage to the academy. Later, the class was assigned by Shino to split into groups of 3 and each tail a different workplace for a few days for better understanding non-shinobi life. Metal convinced Inojin into going to the fire department. While tailing their work, Metal helped in putting out a fire. However, his social anxiety got the better of him again, causing him to spray the fire hose all over the area. Later, Metal checked in on some of his friends after learning that they were hospitalized from a recent attack. Several weeks later, Shino decided to change up the 3-man teams for their next challenge to determine the optimum pairings for graduation. Metal was paired up with Boruto and Mitsuki. During their challenge to capture a flag, Shikadai took advantage of Metal's social anxiety, noting how everyone was watching him. When Metal froze up, Chocho quickly knocked him out. Shino was then called aside concerning Sumire. As the class began discussing rumors that she was being transferred to a different school, they were relieved to see her return to their class. When the class was preparing for the tree climbing practice, Denki was the only one in the class who couldn't master the art of climbing through chakra molding. As Denki continued to practice alone even after class, Metal decided to help Denki, encouraging him to join in a cliff climb. When Denki slipped, he was saved by Rock Lee's timely appearance. The older shinobi was moved by Denki's determination and decided to supervise Denki's training. Afterwards, Lee gave Denki his own jumpsuit, which Metal supported his father in proclaiming its worth. Sarada Uchiha Arc. During the day of the Kage Summit in Konoha, Metal was rigorously training with his father. As his father emphatically told him that he was in the springtime of his youth, the young man echoes his father's words, much to his father's approval. School Trip Arc. In the anime, to improve relationships with other villages and symbolically show the warring era was over, the 7th Hokage set up an official class trip for the academy to go to Kirigakure. Upon arriving, they were met by Kagura Karatachi, who was appointed by the Mizukage to act as the class's tour guide. The class was later taken to meet Chojuro, the 6th Mizukage, who welcomed the class to the village. Graduation Exams Arc. As ninja classes began preparing for the graduation exams, Metal met with his teachers and father to discuss his progress and goals for the future, during which Metal and his father continued their over-enthusiastic training routine. During the exams, taking up Shino's subtle offer to try stealing the test answers for the written test, Metal and his friends were able to easily pass the test. Later, during the practical and final test, the class was brought to the training field. There, the entire class was set up to face Shino, Anko Midarashi, and Konohamaru for 24 hours. While the teachers would still evaluate the students' respective improvements, the students' true test was against Kakashi Hatake. The 6th Hokage quickly explained that he would only pass the first student who was able to take the single bell attached to his hip. As the test began, Metal soon found himself under a genjutsu by Anko. He soon after escaped it and joined his friends in facing her. Ultimately, Anko defeated her foes and captured the Ino Shikacho trio. Metal then regrouped with the remaining students. There, Boruto, deeply affected by Kakashi's harsh words, apologized to his friends for failing them by dragging their performance down with his lazy attitude. However, Metal and all the others insisted that it was because of Boruto that they overcame so many of their problems. Inspired by Metal and the other students' praise, Boruto realized the truth behind the teacher's deceptions. He then conceived a series of plans to pass the test, which the friends all backed up. Together, they were able to eliminate the other teachers and save the students that were captured, the latter of which in turn helped back Boruto's play against Kakashi. They all attacked Kakashi while disguised as Boruto, but the 6th Hokage easily blocked their assault. This, however, was a setup, allowing the team to catch Kakashi in a multiple string-light formation. While pinning down Kakashi somewhat, he quickly repelled them with his lightning release. Ultimately, time ran out. However, despite no one getting the bell, Kakashi passed all the students as they succeeded at the test's true goal: loyalty and teamwork. Genin Mission Arc. In the anime, at the academy, Metal was placed on Team 5 with Iwabi and Denki. The team personally received their first mission from the 7th Hokage involving pulling a giant turnip out of the ground, which they succeeded in doing. Byakuya Gang Arc. With the continued thefts performed by the Byakuya Gang throughout Konohagakure, Team 5 was assigned alongside the other Genin teams to help stop the self-proclaimed noble thieves. However, the Genin were not permitted to engage the Byakuya Gang without aid from a Chunin or higher-ranked shinobi. Sometime later, Team 5 worked on repairing a bridge, during which they were alerted to the Byakuya Gang's appearance. Following Iwabi's overzealous nature, Metal and Denki joined their teammate in engaging the thieves. Ultimately, the thieves proved too powerful and easily repelled the Genin's efforts. During the counterattack, Metal blocked an attack meant for Denki, but his assist damaged his arm, putting him in the hospital. Versus Momoshiki Arc. Metal takes part in the Chunin exams with his team, where they pass the first part of the exam, thus leading his team to the next round. Metal's luck runs out during the second part of the exam when his team encounters Team Shinki. While Metal was fighting Shinki, the latter uses his iron sand to steal the flag of Metal's team, eliminating them from the exam, much to Metal's disappointment. He later watches the final round of the exam beside Konohamaru Sarutobi. He and his teammates cheered for Boruto while he defeated Shinki to win the tournament, but were very distraught when learning that he cheated using an advanced ninja tool, the Kote, which was banned from the Chunin exams, and thus was disqualified. When Momoshiki and Kinshiki Otsutsuki appeared and began devastating the arena, Denki used his laptop to look up the design of the arena, plotting out the best escape route. Metal was then told where to take spectators. After the attack ended and the 7th Hokage saved all the lives there at the cost of being captured himself, Metal was sent to the hospital to tend to the citizens' injuries. A few days later, after the Otsutsuki were defeated and things began returning to normal, Metal helped in repairing the village. In the anime, as Metal continued to struggle with his anxiety with too much attention on him, Rock decided to teach him the 8 gates. However, upon seeing his son rely on useless luck trinkets for confidence, he postponed the training, telling Metal that he can't master the 8 gates as he is now. Metal then met with Might Guy, who saw through his inner struggle. After learning about how Guy got past his grief in his injury and continued to push forward, it made Metal question his faith in his trinkets. Later, Rock challenged Metal to a match with the condition that there would be a large crowd, and if Metal didn't land at least one blow, he would never receive training for the 8 gates. Against his father, Metal removed his trinkets and fought through all the stares and laughter of the crowd, which in reality boosted his performance. Ultimately, Metal unlocked the first gate, letting him solidly hit Rock and win. As both Guy and Rock were proud of Metal for facing his problems, Metal finally found pride in himself. Mitsuki's Disappearance Arc. In the anime, after the apparent betrayal of Mitsuki to Konohagakure and his desertion, the village was put on lockdown. Later, after eavesdropping on the Hokage, Metal and his friends learned of the danger Team 7 was in at Iwagakure. Upon arriving at Iwa, however, the battle was already won, and Team 7 was safe, leaving Metal and the others relieved. Naruto Shinden, Parent and Child Day. When Konohagakure began a new annual holiday, Parent and Child Day, Metal spent it with his father Rock. He was also accompanied by Inojin, Shikadai, and their respective fathers. Later, he and Rock entered an eating competition as a team. However, Metal's anxiety at being watched quickly made him vomit, disqualifying the team. After recovering, Metal and his father spent the remainder of the day training together. Time Slip Arc. In the anime, Metal joined the other Genin in testing out new surveillance equipment designed to follow their location. During the field test, Urashiki Otsutsuki was spotted in the area. Metal joined several other Konoha nin in pursuing him. However, this turned out to be a diversion by the alien, who placed a genjutsu on them to let him sneak back into the village. Later, sometime after Urashiki was finally defeated, when Sumire Kake resigned from her Genin team to join the scientific ninja weapons team, Metal joined his friends in a farewell party for the former class rep. Mujina Bandits Arc. When Konohamaru wanted Boruto to come with him, Metal informed him of Konohamaru's request. Kara Actuation Arc. In the anime, after Team 7 was defeated by Deepa, Metal and his team went to check on Boruto, who was recovering in the hospital. While Metal was especially nervous about his friend's well-being, they were surprised to see how relaxed and upbeat the two were. While everyone else was happy about this, Iwabi grew concerned and feared that their friends lost the will to be shinobi. When Metal and his friends went to check on Boruto and Sarada, they were horrified to see that they secretly left the hospital. Iwabi came to the new conclusion that Boruto and Sarada were looking for revenge for what happened to Mitsuki. Sakura deduced that the two would meet up with Konohamaru to join him on his undercover mission. Upon arriving, the team was relieved to see that Boruto and Sarada had resolved to leave the mission to the Jonin for now and instead focus on getting strong enough to rejoin the battlefield. After learning that Boruto was hospitalized following a match against Chojoji, Team 5 visited him. In the hospital, they met a patient named Nato, who was causing trouble for the staff. Learning that they were shinobi, Nato asked them to get an autograph from Orochimaru on his Extreme Shinobi Picture Scrolls trading card. They initially refused, but later agreed to it upon learning of Nato's upcoming surgery, which he was dreading. Finding out Orochimaru's location from the Hokage's office records, they were warned to be very careful by a Konoha Jonin who was filling in for Yamato in monitoring Orochimaru. They stumbled upon Suigetsu and began to fight him, only to be overwhelmed. Orochimaru stopped the fight, and while incredulous of their intention, autographed the card anyway. Team 5 returned the card to Nato and admitted they were scared to do it, noting that one needs to be brave, inspiring him to have his surgery. Later, after Mitsuki recovered and returned to the village, Metal's team worked on a new experiment of Denki's to improve on wireless communication technology. He and Iwabi were tasked with piloting a hot air balloon high enough. The experiment was technically a success, as they did increase the range of communication, but would still need to figure out a way to stabilize the signal, as the balloon was incapable of staying in the air too long to sustain transmissions. Ao Arc. In the anime, Metal attended the memorial service for the fallen people of the 4th Shinobi World War. Later, at the training hall, Metal watched Boruto fight the 7th Hokage alongside other Genin. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.